I love it. Jude, are you in the car? And hey, Novella, thank you for waving. I saw you. Hey.
Yeah, I'm in the car. I literally just drove from Jacksonville, so I'm in my brother's car.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you for joining in. Thank you for prioritizing it. I love it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful. You guys look so great. And thank you for showing me your video. It's so nice for me to be able to see a face with a name. So then I'll like know who you are and I'll be able to say, oh, okay, that's Sarah. I see her. That's Tanya. Hey, you know? Hey guys. Hello. Thank you, Crystal. I see her getting set up. She said, okay, let me turn mine on then. Hold on, Terry. I'm not going to be left out. You're going to know what I look like. Gotcha, girl. Hello, hello. Oh, you guys look wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody and then we'll get started. I do know there's going to be some coming in. Let me mute. All right. While we have a few more people coming in, let me tell you what we're going to do today. So I've had so many new people coming in the last few days. I said it wouldn't be fair to them to just start with curriculum and they don't know what's going on. So today we're going to treat it like a new student orientation, and I'm going to walk you through the curriculum of the course and then everything you need to know for the next 8 weeks. And I decided that I'm going to go ahead and do 8 full weeks of coaching. So once a week on Mondays, I'll be with you guys to help coach you through the course. And my goal with this is not a replacement for the curriculum, the online curriculum. You should still watch all the online curriculum, but what it is, so I'm coming on today and we're gonna do an overview, but this week I want you to prioritize getting through the modules in the introduction to the stock market. Next week, we'll go through picking good companies. And so I want you guys, and go ahead and mute guys. And so next week, we'll go over picking good companies, which is one of the modules in the curriculum, but I'm gonna put a little spin on it for current day, what's happening right now in the markets with the Fed. We're gonna hear about the Fed soon. We're gonna hear about Amazon Prime Day soon. We're gonna hear about earnings reports. So we're gonna talk about, okay, good companies, what our class is gonna focus on these next 2 months, okay? And so every week, it's just like a good accountability. The first 2 weeks, I want you to make it all the way through introduction to the stock market. Second 2, risk management. Next 2 weeks, you're going to make it through all the curriculum in the technical analysis class. And then the final weeks, you'll make it through all the advanced strategy. I think it's either called advanced daily strategies or mastermind strategies. I change the name every now and again of the 4th class. So these calls will just keep you accountable, and I hope that you make some time so that you can get through it with us in the next 8 weeks. Sound good? Thumbs up? Can I see some thumbs up if you're with me? Wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I saw Adrian's, I saw everybody's. Wonderful. All right. And then Judah says the peace sign going to the thumbs up. Gotcha. All right, wonderful. Okay, well, I think we got everybody that we're gonna have, at least for right now. So I'm gonna change this into speaker view. At the top, guys, if you wanna see speaker view, like if you don't wanna see everybody's picture, at the top right-hand corner, there's some little boxes. You can change it to speaker view, and then that would show just my face at the bottom, or it's supposed to. Right now, I'm seeing Jude's face, so hey, Jude. And then I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. All right. All right, can you guys hear my, or look at my screen? Should be seeing it. And I have so much to show you all today. I'm just going to like push through because we have so much to cover. All right, so we're going to start right here. Bum, 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 bum. Don't freeze up on me today, computer. What's it doing? Okay, well, maybe we won't do prisoner mode. Okay. Y'all know technology is the one thing, I think that is the one thing that always seems to break when I'm about to be great. All right, well, let's actually start in a different place then. So I'm gonna go over for you guys the curriculum, and then that way you'll know what is covered in the curriculum. Then we'll go back and talk about TradeStation, because I wanna make sure that you guys are really good with TradeStation. And can one person just let me know, are you guys still hearing me, still seeing me? It's all good. You might have to unmute yourself and then mute yourself back.
Yes, we can.
Yes, hear you, Terry.
You're good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Yay,
Yes.
thank you guys. Wonderful. And then everybody can mute yourself back. All right, so when you first get into the class, this is the first thing that you're gonna see. It's the trade and travel like intro page. So this part is real simple. It has a new student orientation that's gonna be very similar to what I'm covering with you guys today. It won't be as detailed because we're gonna do a little bit more than what I'm covering, than what is in this video, but it's like a new student orientation and you just get acclimated to the course. So to access the rest of the course, you come over here on the left-hand side where it says included courses and click that. And then these are the rest of the courses that are included with your trade and travel class. So I don't want you guys to get confused. I had one lady that was like, you know, it just doesn't have as much in it as I thought it would, but she didn't know that you could click over here and see the rest of the classes. So make sure you guys don't miss that. Once you're in trade and travel, come to the left and click included courses. And then I don't know why these are out of order, but I want you to do the classes by the order of the number. So the first class is Intro to the Stock Market. Then the next one I want you to do is Risk Management. And then you're going to come back to Intro to Technical Analysis. And then you'll finish up with Mastermind Trading Strategies. And then after that, these are all the group coaching calls from last cohort, so from the spring. But what's really cool about it is it goes through, the way I ordered it last semester, or last cohort, is I went, each week was a different step of my IWT strategy. So like the first one was picking good companies, and the next one was figuring out your risk to reward. So if you need some help with the IWT strategies, this would be a good place to come because it'll go in depth and have one call per step of the IWT strategy. So this is where you would come for that. And I do think like expect that a lot of these are really good, but especially I believe it's number 6. We really went through the strategy again there, and I think that call was really good. So make sure once you've gone through the curriculum that you listen to all these calls. All right, and then let me show you what's actually in each one of these. And for my past students that are coming back, pay attention because I've added a lot of stuff to this. So it might look a lot different than what you usually saw or you saw the first time. So the first thing you're going to talk about in Intro to Stocks, and I'll tell you a little bit of my rationale behind it. So the first thing you're going to cover is this Stock Market 101, and it's just terminology and then also my view on the stock market. So I think of the stock market as a market, kind of the same way as like a cloth market in Africa or a fish market. There's negotiations going on between buyers and sellers, and then you agree upon a price. That's what's happening in stocks too. It literally is a stock market. If you guys could just think back to hundreds of years ago, the stock market really did have livestock. They were selling cattle and they were selling wheat and corn, and then there was a negotiation. It wasn't until more recently that all of this became more electronic and we had companies and there was like more to it. But when you think about this, it really is a negotiation between buyers and sellers. So we talk a little bit about that here. You have to understand that basic concept as you go on to the rest of my strategy, because everything I talk about is about buyers and sellers. This next part is about funding your account. So you're going to fund your account with TradeStation, and TradeStation is our preferred broker. So the reason why I like them a lot is, one, they're giving you guys commission back to refund your course. So each month as you trade, at the end of the month, they'll look at how much commissions you paid to them, and they will refund 20% of that back into your account. And it's just an automatic thing because they know that you're one of my students. So I send Corey, who's our partner at TradeStation, a list of my students every couple weeks. And so that way he updates your accounts. He knows that you're part of my program. And he does a couple things, actually. He puts you on that 20% refund, and that'll keep going for a lifetime until you pay off the cost of my class. Another thing he does is he lowers your commission. So instead of it being $5 in, $5 out, that's the typical flat fee for them, it's only 1 cent per share. So if you're trading 100 shares, you only have to pay $1 for that trade versus $5. So they lower our commissions. And then the other thing they do is they waive our fees. So that 1 cent a share commission rate, it usually costs $100 a month. So just that alone would have cost you $1,200 to be under that 1 cent a share plan, because $100 a month is 12 months. But they waive that for us. So that's why they're our preferred broker, because they really do come alongside my students. If you want to trade with a different broker, you can, but I just want to make sure that they have good charting technology, because I want you to be able to use charts. So I've had some students that try to use like Stash or something like that, but they don't have charts. You need one that has really good charting technology, and then you also need one that has really good order exit types. So for example, I've used Merrill Lynch before, but they only let you have one exit at a time. So you have to choose, am I going to put in my stop or am I going to put in my target? But with TradeStation, you can put both in at the same time, and that allows you to automate your trades. So I'd rather you have a broker that's a little bit more robust. So we're going to talk through in a little bit TradeStation, but that's why, just giving you guys the rationale behind why I've done the things I've done. That's why I like TradeStation. With picking good companies, you'll get some criteria, and then you'll create a watch list. Thank you guys for all the ones who've done your homework. The homework here is you have to create your watch list in CNBC and send it to me. I've gotten many of your watch list, so thank you so much for that. And then next call, we're actually going to do some work looking at those watch lists, editing them, making sure that they're really good. One thing I'll tell you right here is I think, especially this cohort, that we're going to have to diversify a little bit more. So my cohort is very heavy tech, just because I've been watching tech for so long. But in order for us to really be able to trade more consistently, we may have to add in some different sectors so that we can find some more opportunities. So just a heads up, that's going to be coming next week. Then we talk about making the trade. Now, I get so many questions in this section because people can't find a good trade. And I think the problem is I tell you just make 5 trades, and I don't give you any stipulations on it. I just say make 5 trades. But when you keep going in the course, I tell you about risk management and the reward to risk. And so you're trying to do it correctly with your first 5 trades. Guys, on these first 5 trades, I don't care if you do it correctly. I'm really just hoping that you'll play with the buttons, press buy, press sell, and just get comfortable with making some trades and seeing what happens. My original thought with this is that you'll make 5 trades, you'll probably lose some money, so it's okay if you lose money on these first 5 trades. I haven't taught you how to trade yet, so you'll probably lose some money right here, and then that will prepare you to go into the next class, which is risk management. So that actually was my thought behind this part. So I get a lot of people who get stuck right here because they feel like they don't know enough. Don't worry, I just want you to play with the buttons right here, potentially lose some money so that you're ready for risk management in the next class. Okay, so that's actually what I was thinking with that Makes sense. Somebody's like, oh, okay. And then with these live group coaching calls, so these were the group coaching calls from the winter cohort. And I've actually added in all the calls from the winter cohort into the curriculum. So once you've gone through the modules, you can then watch the group coaching calls from those cohorts. One thing I will say is, because you all are doing group coaching calls with me right now, if you find that you're behind and you're like, Teri, I don't have time to watch everything, then for now you can skip the group coaching calls and just come to these on Mondays. And that'll save you some time. So I do know, like, this is 100 minutes long. This is these are an hour and a half. So that's 3 hours right there that might be hard for you to schedule time for. So if you could at least go through the rest of the curriculum and then make it to our Monday calls, that would be good. So in the next 2 weeks, I'd like you to get through all of this curriculum and have practice. And it does take some time to open a TradeStation account. So some of you guys are probably like, Teri, I tried, I called Corey, and it's been 2 weeks and I haven't gotten it set up. It's okay. It takes some time to get those accounts funded. I also have a lot of you guys that are asking, well, what kind of account? I want you to open an equities and options account. So it's going to show you three different type of accounts. It'll say equities and options, futures, and I think the other one is like an IRA or a Forex. I want you guys to open the equities and options account. And then later on in the application, another button will say margin. I want you to select margin as well. And margin is one of those things where you don't have to use it. It's like a credit line. It'll be there if you need it, but you don't have to use it. But I want you to open that kind of account so that later on you'll be able to have the functionality that you need. Okay? All right, so that's everything with Intro to the Stock Market. Then the next one is risk management for traders. So after you've lost some money on your first 5 trades, and it's okay, I haven't taught you how to trade yet, so it's okay. Then you're going to come to risk management, and in this section, the first part is going to tell you my story of my biggest loss. So when I first started trading, I actually had a loss that was $26,000. I'll just tell you guys from up front. So listen to this section and you'll hear the whole story of how I lost that much. And I lost it in a matter of minutes, y'all. So it was overnight. I saw the loss and then it kept going down and I didn't know what to do. I started panicking. I cried. I called my mom. And here we're going to talk about my biggest loss. And then I'm going to go through each of the mistakes that I made and I'll tell you the solution. And then I'll give you some homework around it. On this part, the homework is relatively easy. When I say easy, it takes some work, but there's not as many places in here where you have to email me your homework, but I do want you to actually do the work. I want you to get familiar with doing your reward to risk calculations, doing your quantity calculation, because what I hate is, not hate, but what I see when people are starting to make mistakes down the road is they'll get too many shares and I say, well, did you do your calculation? Well, no, I just figured because I had this much money, I'd buy this many shares. No, that's why I gave you the homework so you could get the exact right number of shares. Or I'll say, so what's your reward to risk on that trade? Well, I just figured I'd get in and I just wanted to make $1. So the reason why I got in, no, I want you to be consistent with doing your reward to risk. So all of these things are going to teach you how to protect yourself. So I want you to go through each one of these and actually start implementing those in your fake simulator account. So in that last account, in the last intro to the stock market, you're going to open an account and you'll have a fake simulator and that's where you're going to take your 5 trades. I want you to keep trading, but now implement these risk management techniques on top of it. Down here is more live group coaching calls. So these are the live group coaching calls from the winter, like I was telling you about. One of the really cool things in here is this guest speaker, Alex. So Alex comes on, Alexander, he's been on the top of the trading pole and he's been at the bottom. So when Alex was, well, I don't really know the year, but he opened up a broker, like a he opened up a trading desk on Wall Street, had 30 traders underneath him, and then he lost it all and was living in his car. And he tells us in this session about how like he just got addicted to trading and there's some mistakes he made, but the biggest thing is he didn't have a risk management plan. Cool thing for us is Alexander's actually going to come back and speak as a guest speaker for us this cohort. So like I said, if you don't have time to watch these 2 group coaching calls right now, it's okay. Make sure you join our 3rd and 4th Monday call, because then we'll also have a guest speaker and then we'll also talk about risk management. But these are pretty good. So for my older students who maybe you did all this, but you don't know what's new, come back and look at these group coaching calls. I will say the internet, Alexander was on vacation when he did this call, so he's kind of spotty on this call because the internet was bad. So you might just want to join us when he's live again. So that's that one. Then after that, you're going to go into, let me move this down. All right. So then after that, you're going to go into the Intro to Technical Analysis. So this is our 3rd class, but then this is where the meat of my strategy starts coming in. So like the biggest thing that makes my strategy different from other people is that I use charts. So a lot of traders, and I'll tell you, like I went to this big conference called FinCon, and we have all these people that teach finance, and 90% of them don't do investing. And then of us 10% that do invest, it was only about 2 or 3 of us that actually use charts and technical analysis, and we were the ones who can actively trade. Everybody else was more, excuse me, long-term passive investors. So like this part is really where the meat of the curriculum is and what makes my program different. Another thing about this, so this is where we're going to talk about charts, but another thing about this that makes me different is I have a trading plan that I'm going to teach you. So it's a 7-step strategy of these 7 steps is what I want you to do every time you take a trade. And that also makes my course different, because a lot of courses, and I won't even say a lot, I'll say like some of the $20,000 courses that I've taken, they give you their strategy and then they just let you go. And so now you're like, okay, I kind of know what to do, but you know, how do I put this all together? They don't give you the whole trade plan from getting into the trade, what do you do while you're in the trade, and then how to exit. And so you might be trading, but you have no exit plan of how to get out of the stock. Or, you know, you don't really know when to get in. You just kind of liked it. So with this trading plan, it'll give you some detailed, these are the 7 steps. Do this every time. So that's another thing that makes this course a little different, and you'll learn that here in the Intro to Technical Analysis. I will tell you though, my 7 steps include steps from the past 2 classes. So I don't recommend trying to just jump right here because you're going to get lost. You should start from the beginning, see my whole thought process from the other 2 classes, and then those are going to come into play again here. For example, the first step in here is picking good companies, but that's from the first class. 2 of the next steps are about risk management, and that came from the risk management class. So these all build on each other. So I would say that make sure you're doing the classes in order. Don't just skip to this. And this section at the end, what's kind of cool about it is you're actually going to get to see me trading. So you'll get to see like the screen and me getting in and out of trades. And we'll also talk about looking at the charts to find your entry point, your target, like where you're getting out, and your stop. So if it goes wrong, where do I get out? So we'll look at those things here as well. So that's technical analysis. And then the last class in trade and travel is this mastermind strategies class. And see, like this is why I always get confused, because the little tag says mastermind strategies, but then the name I changed it to was like advanced daily strategies. And also the VIP program is advanced. So sorry guys for confusing you guys. I also confused myself. Um, but the thought here was, now that you've made some zones, so in that technical analysis section, I'm going to teach you where the banks, like what price is the bank buying your stock? Because that's the price where you want to be a buyer. And what price are the banks selling your stock? At that price, that's where you want to sell. So you find some zones that kind of say, okay, I think the price is in this area, and the other price to sell is in this area. Between this price and this price, this is where the banks are selling. So now we have these two zones. In this class right here, you're going to learn how to qualify your zones to see if they're a strong zone. So there's these things called odd enhancers that Sam Seiden, who created Online Trading Academy, he created these things called odd enhancers. And so what we'll do is we'll look at the odd enhancers and test our zones. So is this a fresh zone? Has it been touched before? Is this a like a zone that hasn't been like, that is like, it like we just qualify. It's hard for me to say it now because you're like, I haven't done that part. I have no idea what you're talking about, but we'll qualify the zones. So just know once you get here, you'll be able to figure out if the zone is good or bad, okay? There's no like easy way to say it without saying stuff that you don't know. And you're like, fresh? What does fresh mean? So, but just know we'll qualify the zones in this section, okay? So these are the 4 classes that you're going to cover in Trade and Travel. And I tell you to give yourself about 2 weeks per class to get through these. And as a group, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to spend 2 weeks, so 2 of our coaching calls, an intro to stock. 2 of our coaching calls will focus on risk management. 2 of the actually 4, the last 4 of the coaching calls will focus on technical analysis and these odd enhancers. Are there any questions so far with this? You don't have to say them out loud. Type them in, and I'll look at the questions in the chat box. I'm gonna take a quick second to look at the chat, and then we'll keep moving forward. All right. Oh, yeah, so IWT is Invest with Teri. My whole school is called Invest with Teri. And that's because we have both the Trade and Travel class, and then we have the VIP Trade and Travel, but the whole school is called Invest with Teri. Can we put this on our watch list? What about trading ETFs? Okay, Sam, so next class, we're going to talk about picking good companies. So we'll cover companies there. So please bring those questions back next class. All right, still waiting for funds to clear. Yep, TradeStation can take some time. So for everybody who hasn't started that process, reach out to Corey Andrews. And I'll put his email here in the chat, but it's candrews@TradeStation.com. Reach out to him. There's also a link that I've put in the Facebook group, but reach out to him and he can help you get set up. It does take some time. First, you have to fill out an application. Then once your application clears, you have to fund the account. And then at the max, they say 5 business days, but depending on what day you start, then their 5 business days can be longer or shorter. I would say never send them something on a Friday night or a Friday after 2 p.m. Eastern time, because it will take so long to process. I don't know, it seems like they just shut down everything on Fridays. If you can wait until the morning, like at 8 a.m. or really early in the morning, they seem to process stuff really fast. So just a little tip. Okay. No questions. I actually watched 101. Okay, good. Do not have access to E-Trade because I live in Toronto. Yep, if you're in Toronto, try TD. It won't be TD Ameritrade, but it'll be TD something else. And I think, Kay, you and I talked about that one, so we just have to research some other brokers. Okay. Suggestions on amount to start with trading. So what I really want you guys to do, especially while you're learning, is to just fund the account with $500. That's the minimum that you need to access the simulated account. So fund it with $500. I want you to trade in the simulator while we're learning. And then once you start getting confident, you start seeing some gains, then you can start adding more money to your account. And that's going to be a personal decision. When you're thinking about how much cash you'll make a day, your daily goal is going to be 1% of your cash amount. So if it's 500, you're only making $5 a day, which is still, I mean, that's still pretty good. That's 1% return. But if you, as you start increasing, then you can start just saying, okay, what's 1% of this cash amount? That's the daily goal that I'm trying to reach. So if I'm at 5,000, I'm going for $50 a day, which when you calculate it, that ends up being an extra $1,000 a month. So that's actually pretty good. $10,000, you're trying to make $100 a day. And I'm not saying that you have to trade every day, but this is how you'll do your expectations. Okay. And then another question on here, and then we'll keep moving forward, is the Facebook group. So to get to the Facebook group, this is what the Facebook group looks like. It looks like, so what you do is you search for Invest With Teri -students only. So you guys search for that if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet. It's Invest With Teri -students only. And then what you'll do is you'll ask to join the group. And then on my side, I'll approve it. One of the really cool things is that this time we have 2 administrators that are going to be helping me with the Facebook group. So Carlene is going to be helping me. And Carlene, please say hi or something in the side chat so they can see you. But this is what the group looks like. And you guys can feel free to put questions in here. The older students and new students are in here. So what I really encourage is for the older students to try to answer the questions of the new students. That way, one, you get answered quicker than if you were waiting on me, because sometimes I'm not as fast with replying. But then 2, it just helps you to reinforce your learning when you're an older student and you've been practicing, and then you can answer the questions of the newer students. It reinforces what you're actually learning. So this is really good for you. So Carlene is one of our admins in the Facebook group. And then also on the group, let me stop sharing real quick so that we can have Tiandra say hi. Tiandra is my assistant. She's actually my cousin as well. She just had a beautiful baby. So still in the family, but Tiandra is my assistant, so you guys might hear from her too. And so, T, can you unmute yourself or?
Oh, yes, I'm here, just with my baby. Hello, everyone.
So you guys may hear from her sometimes. And yeah, so she actually sent an email out to all the students in New York. I'm going to be there on Friday. So if you guys want to go out to eat, I'd love to. I'll be free around 7 o'clock on Friday. So the first person to just pick a restaurant, put it on Facebook in that Facebook group, and then that's where we'll go. So I'll be in New York on Friday for any students that want to meet up. And then on Monday, I'll actually be in Chicago. So for Chicago students, I saw several of you guys are from Chicago. I'd love to also go to dinner with you guys. So first person to just say a restaurant in Chicago as well. I think both times I'll be close to the center of the city. So if you could do something close to the center of the cities so that everybody can come in, that'd be good. So just throwing that out there. I would love to meet up with you guys while I'm there. And you can put it in the Facebook group. And thank you, T. All right, so now let's keep going. So now you know about the Facebook group, you know about the curriculum. One of the other things I said that we would talk about this time is the TradeStation setup. Uh-oh. Okay. So let me share my screen again. All right, can you guys see? All right, so when you are, and here I'm gonna, All right, so when you're first setting up TradeStation, you have to actually go to the website and then you're going to download the platform. So I'm going to go through all the steps with you all because I've had students that kind of really get puzzled on this part. So to download TradeStation, we're going to use either the TradeStation platform on your computer or you can use it on your cell phone. On a platform, you come onto the online, you have to go to TradeStation.com. So now you're online. You log in, so come here to log in. And then I've had a couple students that like trading with a web trading live, but I'm gonna teach you how to download the platform, the full platform on your computer, because that way you can save all of your information. So come over to Client Center, and then you're gonna put in your username and password. You create that when you do your application. And everybody, yes.
See your screen.
We can't see a screen.
Oh, you can't see it? Thank you for telling me. It says main screen. What about now?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, let's go. You see it now? Okay. All right, so let me go backwards. And then, huh?
Are you on a PC or a Mac?
You see my Mac?
She's on a
He's asking if you're using a PC or a Mac computer.
Oh, okay. I'm using, this one is a Mac. I mean, excuse me, this is a PC. On a Mac, you have to actually use, one of those parallel screens that will actually make it look like you're on Windows. So Macs are a little tougher. One of our, we have a TA this time. His name is Mikkel. He may be able to help you with the Mac. So Mikkel, are you on here? Okay, Mikkel may not be on here today, but if you do have a Mac, look in TradeStation, they have like a help center. Look at how to download it for a Mac. You're gonna have to download a parallel screen and then download the TradeStation. One thing I have found is with people who have Macs, they do like to use the website version because then they don't have to worry about downloading the platform. So let me do a couple steps backwards and then we'll move forward again. So hold on one second. This is a PC though. Okay. So the first thing you do is you go to TradeStation. And it's going to look like this. And then you're going to go here to log in. And then you're going to go to Client Center. By the way, let me see if it showed right here. There was this promotion, so some of you guys might say, oh man, I could have gotten my trades free for the rest of the year. And I thought about telling you guys about this, but the only thing is if you got free trades for the rest of the year, then they wouldn't be able to give you the waived $100 a month fee, the 1 cent per share, because those things are lifetime. So you'd be better off doing those for a lifetime than just having free trades for the rest of this year. So just know the reason why I didn't present this to you is because you're better off with the other deal. But some of you guys might have been wondering that, so I wanted to just address it. Okay, so when you go to log in, you go to Client Center, and then you're going to put in your username and password, and then log in. And there's two things that I want you to do in this area. And yes, for some of you guys might be wondering, is this being recorded? Yes, it's being recorded. So you'll be able to watch this again if you need to. But the first thing I want you to do is come over to download TradeStation platform. So over here on the right-hand side where it says download, you're going to press this. And then you're going to see that there are two platforms. And everybody, don't forget to mute yourself. Unless it's not showing again, then please tell me. So you're gonna see that there's two platforms. The first one up here is the one that we actually want to download. So you're gonna come here and press download now. This one down here that says for students. So I tried using this one with a class. One of our cohorts, we tried downloading this one, but it just never worked out. Like it would freeze up. It's an older version. It's nice because it's really easy. Like it's a cleaner platform, I feel like. The look of it is a little cleaner, but it doesn't work as well because it's an older edition. So this time we're just gonna use the newest edition, and then I want you to come over and press download. Let me give you a heads up. When you're downloading this, it actually takes quite some time. So like it'll download fine. Like right now it seems like it's moving pretty fast and I need to stop it before it like messes up everything. But when you're actually putting it onto your computer, it takes some time because it's a pretty robust platform. So once you go in here and ask it to run and install, just know that you're gonna have to give it some time. Sometimes I had some instructors that used to tell me, download it at night, let it get all installed while you're sleeping, and then by the next day, it should work right. But just a heads up, this platform is pretty big. And so then what happens is it'll download onto your computer. So it'll look like this. And then you'll go to open it. It also takes a minute to open as well. So while it's opening, let me close down some of those extra screens that I used. Okay. Okay, it's still working. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, we're good. So while it's opening up, it takes a couple minutes to open. Let me also show you how to change your simulated account to the amount of money you'll actually be trading. So we just talked about downloading the platform and see it's doing its thing. It'll come up in a little bit. While we wait for it, let me show you how to change your, I hope it doesn't mess us up. Okay. Let me show you how to change your account settings. So click account up here at the top in the green. And then you're going to come down to simulated account. And you're not, for those who are not tech savvy, you're not going to see this gray box. That actually is the TradeStation system trying to open up. But your screen is just going to be just this background. So you're going to come to simulated accounts on the left, press simulated accounts. And then it's going to give you these options down here. Click equities and options, press next. Then under actions, you're going to reset and remove all positions. So if you were doing your 5 trades, and I saw somebody ask that question, if you did your 5 trades in TradeStation, you'd be able to go into the simulated account on the platform and see those 5 trades. So they won't disappear. But when you do this reset, everything will disappear. So just know like you won't see your old trades once you do this reset. But I want you to press reset balances and remove all positions. And then you're going to come over to amount, and I want you to change to custom amount. And under custom amount, I want you to put the amount of money you think you're going to start trading with. Because that way your simulated account will look like your real account once you get started. And when you're actually trading with the same amount of money, then you'll know what it feels like to really trade that amount. So you could come in here and put 5,000 and then press next. Or say, for example, you think you might start with 10,000 when you first start. Press next. Some of you guys are like, nope, Terry, I'm not doing all that. I'm going to start with 1,000. Totally fine. But however much money you think that you'll start actually trading with in your real account, I want you to put that in your simulated so that as you practice, you'll practice what it really feels like. Okay, guys? So I'm actually going to put in here 25,000. That way it can match what I want to trade with. So, oh, I pressed that kind of fast, but then you just press next, done, and then it'll show you here succeeded. And this way, when you go to the app on your cell phone, it'll actually show that new balance. And then you'll be able to trade with that much money. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And it looks like behind us, we're ready to go with the actual platform. Let's see. It's still thinking. And like I can see the little turny spinny thing, so I know that it's not messed up, it's just still thinking. So while it's thinking, let me look at your questions again. So go ahead and put in the chat if there's some questions that came up while I was doing that. Okay, so someone said, I downloaded the education version. Should I uninstall it and install the other? Yes. Yes, Sean, please uninstall and then reinstall the other one. Is there an app? Yes, there's an app. I actually really like trading with the app on my cell phone, the TradeStation app on my cell phone, better than the platform. So download the app. I wanted to actually show you guys how to do that with my cell phone, but I'm not quite sure how to link my computer and my cell phone. So I'll have that figured out by next time and be able to show it to you. Tanya says, I'm being asked to select optional data services. Tanya, you make sure to select the NYSE because you want to make sure you have real-time data. So I want you to select the NYSE, and if there's anything else that looks like it's like US data, select that. But then other than that, you should be okay. You don't have to worry about it. What's the difference of using the web versus download? So the web just doesn't look like the platform, and the platform is more robust than the web. The website can do functionality. It can allow you to put in your lines, it can allow you to put in a watch list, but it's just not as powerful as the platform on the computer. I do have some students though that prefer it. So if LaQuery is on here, she's one of our VIPs. Can you reach out to Ray? It looks like he has a question about the online one. She loves the web platform. So she can give you kind of her thoughts and experience with the web platform. I personally don't like it. But if you're using a Mac, the Mac students usually like the web platform as well, because you can just go online, use the web platform, and then you don't have to worry about downloading the platform. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Amber. So Amber says download saves the zones, so you'll learn about that. Okay, so yeah, on the web platform, I guess they also don't save your zones. And then Michelle asks, changing simulated account amount, do you mean your margin account amount or the actual account? It's the actual account. So when I just changed my account, I changed the amount of cash in my simulated account. So my buying power is gonna look different. So let me log in. So once you've set up TradeStation, you're gonna get this little block and it's gonna ask you to log in. Once you log in, it'll say, do you wanna go into your live trading account or your simulated trading account? For us right now, because you're practicing, I always want you to press simulated account. If you decide though that you wanna make some real trades, go for it, but that's when you would click your live account, okay? And while we're waiting on this, let me answer some more questions. And it says, do we start this account before or after we contact Corey? So Mel, this account is what Corey's gonna help you open. Do you recommend watching TradeStation videos? So TradeStation videos are helpful, but what I'm teaching you now is about all you need to actually get started with my course. I'd rather you prioritize learning the curriculum in my course and then come back and learn the TradeStation videos if you need help with the platform. But I really want you to learn the strategy while you're following along with us. But the videos are good and they are helpful. Mikkel, who's our TA, he's been learning how to automate all his trades using the videos from TradeStation. So he would say, yes, watch him. He swears by him. So Crystal says, so I have a MacBook Pro. Is the desktop application absolutely necessary? No, it's not. The phone app will be sufficient for what you do with trade and travel. With the VIP course, the desktop is really good for options trading, but for the first part with trading travel, no, you can just use the cell phone app. And that cell phone app also is on an iPad if anybody wants to use that. And then Ivy says, do you download the phone app from Google Play? I have an Apple phone, so I downloaded from the Apple Store, so I'm not quite sure what it looks like on Google Play. Maybe one of the other students can help with that. Do I select open an account online in Client Center or email the TradeStation rep for an application? Kwashima, I would go to Corey, because Corey can set you up under our school and he can give you the right commission rates and the right refunds and things. So I'd go to Corey first and email him. And he should be also emailing and reaching out to you too, because I'm sending him over all the names. So reach out to him, but I would do that. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking through. Okay. Okay, and Chana says that her zones are saved on the platform. So I mean on the website. So that might work then. I'd say practice, see what works best for you. Every trader is familiar with different things and likes different things. So just practice and see what you like best. So when you first log in, your screen's gonna look a little different than this. It'll be all black and it'll have like a news welcome and it'll just look kind of like overwhelming. You'll be like, oh my goodness, what did I just get into? This is the only thing that you need. So I'm gonna close this here. We'll do a new desktop so that you can see what it looks like. Okay. Okay, do you guys still see that? So when you first log in, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna have these apps at the top, and then it's gonna have just a black screen. And for all those who came in a little late, you're probably like, what is she doing right now? So we talked through the curriculum of the course. Now I'm just going on into how to set up our broker TradeStation, because TradeStation is really difficult to set up. So I'm setting it up for us so that you don't have any problems later on. So after I do this and show you what to do, you're gonna contact Corey Andrews, open up an account, and then you'll set up your desktop to look like what I'm about to set up, okay? I only really open up 2 boxes on these apps. So you don't have to worry about all of them for now. The 2 that you're gonna use the most are right here with the radar screen. Actually, hold on. Yep, the radar screen. This is where you're gonna set up your watch list. So whatever companies you sent me, so say you sent me Apple, Amazon, Southwest Airlines, Boeing, no, I think Boeing is BA. Facebook, Visa, PayPal, trying to diversify. Let's do Zoom. Zoom is a new one, actually. Let's not do Zoom. let's do Chipotle. They've been doing well lately. Goldman Sachs. I'm gonna pick one more. I'm looking over here at my current watch list to see some ideas. Some of you guys like trading ETFs, and somebody asked me a question about one, so let's put in XLK. They're the ETF for technology. So let's just say that these were the companies that I'm going to be watching. So this is how you would create your watch list in TradeStation. So I'm going to resize it just because I like it to look a little thinner. Actually, let me change some of these columns real quick. So the columns that I look at the most when I'm looking at my watch list is I look at the highs and lows, so right here. I look at the pricing, so this is the last price that the stock was going for, and this is like the net change. You're gonna need those. The bid and ask in the app is really important to me because it actually shows how many people are asking for a certain price and how many people are asking to sell at a certain price. And you can look at that bid and ask and kind of see what direction the stock is about to go in. So it's really helpful on the app. But here it doesn't tell you how many people are trading or asking at these different prices. So this isn't as helpful in the platform. So I actually might move these columns out. So you can click on it. What I do is you can click and then you'll right click. And it'll give you this drop down until you can press remove. For the ask, I could also press remove. So now I have the last price, the change, the high, the low. Volume is okay. In my strategy, we don't use it as much. For some other people's strategies, they use it. So I actually, when you're first doing picking good companies, I'll tell you to look at this. But for now, I know most of my list is okay, so I'm going to remove that one. But what I do want to add on here is I want to know the highest that this has ever been in the last year and the lowest that this has ever been. So I'm going to add in the 52-day high and the 52-day low. So you just click the button for add. Okay, there we go. You have to right click. So right click, go to studies, add study. And on this one, I'm going to add in, so you just scroll down on your list. I want to add in, actually it might be at the top. Yep, so it's at the top. The 52, not the 52 week. Yeah, 52 week is the year. So 52 week high, and I'm going to press add, and the 52 week low, and I'm going to press add. And then over here, I want these two to be underneath the high and low of the day. So this is the high of the day and the low of the day. And then this is going to be the high of the year, the low of the year. So I'm going to actually move the order of this. So I click on it and come to move down. Done. And then I'm also going to take this low and move it down. Okay. So now in my watch list over here, it's going to tell me the last price. Oh, and I'm going to remove the interval. We don't need that, but I'll remove it in. Actually, yeah, you can come over here and press remove. So the order that I really want is the last price, the change. So this is like how much it moved in a day. So for all you guys that are wondering, how do I know how much it moves in a day? It's going to tell you that in this column. The percentage change, honestly, I don't use it a lot, but I'm going to keep it in here just because sometimes it's good to remind yourself like, dang, it only says $3, but that's 2%. Like that's a lot of movement today. So I'm going to leave that here. Then the high of the day, low of the day, high of the year, low of the year, and press OK. So now this is what my watch list looks like. And for you guys, I think I told you to put about 10 things on your watch list. My current watch list is about 30. So if you guys do want to add some more things to your watch list, just to kind of make sure you're familiar with them and you're keeping track of them, feel free to, but I don't want you to go more than 20 to 30. Because after your list gets too long, it's really hard to start watching everything. Okay. So that's the first part. You're going to set up this watch list. Then the next thing is you're going to come back up to apps. And I know it's 9. We're going to go a little bit longer and then we'll be done. But go up to apps, and then I want you to add in a chart. So right here where it says chart analysis, you're going to click on this one. Okay, good. Thank you, Lisa. So Lisa says you can get the TradeStation app on your cell phone from Google Play. So if somebody was wondering that, you can. All right, so this is what a chart looks like. And if you're just starting out, don't worry. You don't really know how to read this just yet. But this is what your chart is going to look like. I just want you to set up the desktop correctly. So you can open up your chart. Right now, in the very beginning, you only need to look at one chart at a time. Eventually, though, say you wanted to look at 2 or 3 charts at a time, you just come up to app and you press this chart button a couple more times, and it'll give you a couple different charts. And then you can look at different stocks at one time. But now I want you to actually link this chart to your watch list. That way, if you click on something in your watch list, it's going to bring up the chart of that company. The way that you do that is you come up here to where it says S, and I want you to change it to, let's just say change it to green. You're going to come over here hold on, it closed on me. Open back up. All right. So you're going to come to the S on this one, and you're going to change it to green as well. So now this one's like where the S means local symbol. So this one is green and this chart is green. So now when you click on the watch list, it actually changes the chart to this company. So here's Apple, now your chart is Apple. If you were to click over here at Amazon, now your chart is Amazon. Okay? And here, let me close this down a little just so that we can see it. So do you guys see that? I clicked on love, now my chart is love. And somebody may say, how do you know that it's love? Here in the gray, you can see the symbol and you can see the name of the company. So you'll see that. Let me check the chat real quick to just see if I'm missing. Okay. Okay, Crystal says the chart says something about 5 minutes. Okay, let me show you what that means. So with our time frame, most of the things that we're going to look at are daily. We're going to look at daily candles. So how you would find that is you'd come up here to time frame, you'd click time frame, and then come and change it to daily. And what that does, let me move this over. What that does is it changes each of these candles to tell you what the price did over the time span of a day. So throughout the day, the price, let's just say this candle right here where my hand is. At some point in the day, the price was 54, and at some point in the day, it was at 55.61. But this candle tells you what the stock price did throughout the day. And guys, you'll learn more about candles in that technical analysis class. So make sure you go through the online curriculum, watch all the videos. I'll teach you actually about the story of the candles in technical analysis. But this is just getting it set up. So we actually want to set it up as a daily chart. Can you link the chart to your watch list on the web-based platform? I'm not so sure on the web-based platform, but on the app, on your cell phone app, it will automatically be linked. So you're going to create a watch list in the app, and then you're going to click on that quote, and it'll take you to the chart for that company. So you don't have to worry about if your phone doesn't have enough space to do 2 different things like this. So on your cell phone, you're just going to create a watch list, and then in that watch list, you'll click the symbol, and it'll show you the appropriate chart. Okay. These are the two things that you're going to need the most in this app. One other thing that you'll need in terms of apps is you're going to need the trade manager. Now the trade manager is going to tell you what trades you're currently in, what trades you're not in. So I just want to show you where this is on the platform so that you can see it. Because we just did a reset, it's not going to show me very much today, but at least you'll know what it is. So when you go to the trade manager, this first page is if you have any open orders. So say I put an order in today to buy Apple and it hadn't been filled yet, it would show up on this tab. So if you're ever wondering like what orders are still out there, maybe you put in a good till canceled order, it'll be here in this tab, it'll show you. If you come down to positions, this tab is actually going to show you orders that you're already in. So if you are currently in a trade or in a position, it's going to show you what your stock, like how you're doing on it. Have you made some money? Have you lost some money? There'll be a whole little analysis here of your current positions. So this is where you can see that. Then with balances, this is going to show you the account, like how much your cash size is, and then how much your buying power is. Just know your cash amount, especially if as long as you're over $2,000, your cash amount will be your actual money, but then your buying power will be bigger than that. It'll be 4 times bigger than that. So the amount of stocks that you can actually buy is up to the max of your buying power. They do only let you keep that extra money though overnight. So you only have like 1 to 2 days to use that, and then you're going to need to sell it so that you don't use your margin and get a margin call. And we can also talk about margin next call too, because I did want us to go further into that. We didn't go deep enough on that in our past cohorts. Someone said, where's the S on the chart? Okay, so, oh wait, before I do that, let me just show you. Right here, equities and options is the account that we have open, but it's going to show you a futures account and a Forex account. You don't need these, so you can actually make those smaller. The only ones that you're going to be looking at is this equity and options. And then even on the app, and so see here, I had changed mine to 25,000, so this is my daily amount, but then my buying power is 4 times that, so I have 100,000 to trade with, but my cash is 25,000. So this is where you'd go to see your balances. Okay, and Tamika says she found it. Okay. Okay, and yes, this class will be available later. Okay, bye Lisa, see you later. Okay, so that's what's happening here in the trade manager, and as we start trading, this will become more important. But it is, remove from the workspace, that's fine. But it is 9 o'clock, and I don't want to keep us too late. I know last time we would go really long, but this cohort, I want us to start trying to stick to an hour. So the things that we were able to cover today, we covered all of the curriculum that is in the program. So now you know where we're going. And then we covered how to set up TradeStation. And give me 1 second. I'm just going to plug my computer in because it looks like it is about to die. If you guys have any other questions, put it into the chat box. But for now, let me just say, if you all have to go, thank you so much for joining tonight. Go ahead and get started with the program. I want you all to start watching the online course, get through Intro to the Stock Market. Next class, we're going to go a little deeper into picking good companies. And by next class, you can actually start working on your first 5 trades. Okay? So that'll give you like another week to finish anything you hadn't watched online in the Intro to Stock Market and work on those first 5 trades. And then from there, we'll move on to risk management. So thank you guys so much for joining. Let me go get my charger so that my computer doesn't die. You guys can exit off of here. Have a great night. But if you do have questions, I'll come back in just a second after I get my charger, and I'll plug it up. And then I'll see you guys next Monday. Hi, guys. All right, I'll be right back.